Welcome to Inspiring IT Leaders, where we feature top technology leaders in those amazing expressions they use to communicate, teach, and inspire. I'm Dan Roberts, your host of the series of 5-minute high-impact micro videos. I am beyond excited to shine the light on the top digital and business leaders who are standout communicators. In this episode, we are shining the light on Rick Schooler, a longtime CIO, an executive coach, and a mentor to many. Let's listen in and learn from Rick's teachings about what you permit, you promote. Take it away, Rick.
What one permits, one promotes. Now, I know that many people have heard this said different ways over the years. I learned this, years ago from a mentor and a leader that I worked for. And again, it goes back into another sort of realm of leadership that a lot of people struggle accepting, particularly new leaders. This notion that as a leader, you're always the example. You really are. Regardless of what you're doing, the situation doesn't matter. As the leader of anything, you're the example. So those on your teams or that are under your direction or that are working with you as peers or superiors, they're watching you. Everyone is always watching the leader. Okay. So when things begin to happen, as they always do on teams, that begin to create a bit of dysfunction, whether it's a violation of a corporate policy, it's a violation of a standard, it's a violation of a rule, if you will, a cultural norm. Someone's being disruptive. Someone is always late to meetings. Someone doesn't meet their deadlines. I mean, you could just go on and on and on regarding all the things that happen on our teams. And then among us as leaders, as peers, as well as in a variety of situations. So as the leader, since everyone's watching, and since you are always, as the leader, the example that others look at and say, well, that's the standard we follow, okay? You have to keep in mind the things that you permit, both good and maybe not so good, you are promoting as acceptable. So this is really, as I said, I think this is really a tough reality for young leaders and even experienced leaders. Sometimes we have to be reminded that, yeah, you're right. Someone has to say, hey, Rick, that keeps happening all the time and you don't seem to want to do anything about it. But I think this is one that we have to keep in mind along with the notion that as the leader, you are always the example. There's just
This takes courage, right? You got to be willing to have the hard conversation sometimes. And we're coming out of where now, we were pre-COVID, early COVID, late COVID, post-COVID. Things are different now, right? And so why does that matter even more, Rick? Or does it matter even more today in terms of, new ways of working?
I think it's tougher now because we're not in person as much. I think that's probably a reality for most professionals at any level. And there's so the rules of the game are kind of changing when it comes to interpersonal reaction or interpersonal interactions and sort of the realities of day-to-day work life. Okay. I mean, for many of us, it's very different now, myself included. And it's another level of presence I think you have to have. Even though you're virtual, even though you're quote online, maybe it's asynchronous, maybe you do a lot of multi person meetings, WebEx, Zoom, what have you, conference calls. I think it's just it's a reminder. It's another level of presence that you have to be in as a leader, being present, being aware. It's not just self-awareness. It's also, group awareness. I think it's gotten harder, quite frankly, because we are not watching, if you will, and I don't mean that in the controlling sense, but we are not engaged or in person as much as we historically have been. So it requires a different way of approaching, paying attention, being aware, being present with your teams as well as peers and colleagues and others. And I think that makes it even tougher.
Thanks so much for watching this video. My name is Ryan Becker, and I'm the producer of this series as well as the Tech Whisperers podcast, where we unpack the playbooks of the best digital leaders in order to bring you the expert insights you need to grow in your career. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and let us know in the comments what you think of the expert advice that was shared. And if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel or check out the Tech Whisperers podcast on any major podcasting platform, as well as right here on our channel. Thanks so much again for watching, and we'll see you next week.